We're looking at front page, the Monday edition of SACB, and we're looking at, let's see here, it's Capital in California, and it's the Influencer series, and it says Solutions Sought is it's an article by Dan Schnur. Solutions is called Solutions Sought as housing costs skyrocket. Dan Schnur, a veteran analyst and longtime participant in California politics, is the director of California Influencers series for Sacramento Bee and McClatchy. Anyway, here it goes. This is homeowners are commuting an hour or more to find a house they can afford. Middle-class workers are crowding into San Francisco apartments with multiple roommates. 20-somethings are back in their bedrooms in their parents' house. It should come as no surprise then that the Sacramento Bee's California Influencers last week ranked the rapidly rising cost of housing as a top-level priority for state lawmakers. Quote, the concept of affordable housing in California has almost become an oxymoron. Rosalind Hudnall said, the former chair and president of Intel Foundation and one of the influencers, a group of the state's respected experts in public policy, politics, and government. Beat readers who responded to our online survey were just as empathetic. The housing crisis in California is out of control. Influencers had plenty of suggestions for combating the crisis: fewer regulations, lower building fees, tax incentives for construction, rent control, less BY-ism when affordable housing projects are proposed. We need a Butch and Sundance moment. I'll jump if you jump, said Carl Gardino, president and CEO of Silicon Valley Leadership Group. Quote, Democrats need to accept the need for reforms on governmental regulations that impact housing costs and construction. Republicans need to appreciate the need for funding and affordable homes. It takes revenue and reforms. Labor leaders agreed with the business community's emphasis on multi-pronged approach, one that eliminates obstacles to development while providing support and protections for residents. There isn't a one-size-fits-all solution to California's housing problems, said Cesar Diaz, legislative and political director of the State Building and Construction Trades Council. Regions should seek to streamline the approval of housing projects in cities that do not meet the housing obligations, but, in parentheses, a project must include housing for certain income levels where there's a shortage of production, including important protections for construction workers, and meet all objective affordable density, zoning, historic, and environmental standards. One in other influencers also emphasized the need for flexibility, pointing to the dramatically different housing requirements in urban, rural, and suburban communities. Quote, we may work in large urban areas. Are not good solutions for other not good solutions, yet good solutions for other parts of the state and vice versa, said Ashley Swearingen, former mayor of Fresno and now president and CEO of Central Valley Community Foundation. Quote, our state's leaders ought to create a tool that incentivizes and increases housing supply in places where it makes sense at a regional level and penalizes local governments for not implementing what they continued here. And it says the challenges is particularly daunting one for students and other young people who enter the housing market at a time when entry-level salaries make the prospect of homeownership very unlikely. Quote, we need to provide more housing support for students and build more housing urban communities. We also need to recognize that most young people who can no longer afford to buy a home and rents keep going up, said Eloy Oakley, chancellor of the California Community Colleges. We should consider tax breaks or other incentives to make living in California more affordable for the dwindling middle class and struggling students hoping to live and work in California. Kim Yamasaki, Executive Director of Center of Asians United Self-Empowerment, CAUSE, who at age 25 is the youngest California influencer, agreed with Oakley. Quote, young professionals are moving out of their parents' homes later rather than sooner. When young adults and lower wage workers begin to make more money, the need to have extra affordable options is readily available. Yamasaki said, quote, we need to create policies that incentivize developments that are considering the working middle class and not just affordable housing and luxury units. Dorothy Rothrock, president of the California Manufacturers Technology Association, addressed the question of affordability, not from the perspective of cost, but the earning capacity of California. California employment is more concentrated in lower wage service jobs and higher wage professional category than or the highest wage professional categories where housing affordability is not an issue. It's not an issue. And it says we can lower the price of the housing by increasing supply, but to close the gap on affordability, we need more middle class employment. Cassandra Pai, president of California Women Lead and CEO of 3.14 Communications, issued an election year warning. Quote, this is one of those issues that won't be well served by sound bites or unrealistic promises. Both gubernatorial candidates should take take the time between now and November to educate and then engage voters in a reform conversation. If we want to build more housing, there will be a shortage, short-term sacrifices for most of us. Let's get real about it. Says there.